Hi, folks. This is Richard Ricky Garcia. And as part of our effort for the Skywriters Making a Difference campaign, I thought it would be fun to reminisce, record, and share stories from our drum corps days. I am joined by the truly legendary Mary Beth Searcy Price, who was involved with the Skywriters from 1974 to 1989. And one of the things I have always wanted to talk to you about is you are included in my opinion, one of the most iconic photos of the Skywriters. It's the title of the photo is Agony of Defeat, and it's from 1980. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. 1980, here we are at prelims, and you're always wanting to do your best. And it was hot, hotter than Hades out. And we, as a guard, we had striped under our eyes with the black because it was so bright, and you didn't have any covered stadiums at that time, right? So you're hot and you are performing your best. And we get toward the end of the performance and you become very tight as a line. And I'm talking about a rifle line, color guard. You're tight, right? You're woven into the drill as a unit. And as we get to the end of our performance in 1980, Tracy is injured. And we can tell. And she is such a consummate performer. Probably one of the best performers I've ever been around my entire life. But she's hurt. And we make it to the end of the show. And Eric Berkvist and myself, we just swoop over to her. And at first, she's kind of nodding us off, like, I'm going to walk off on my own. And we're like, oh, no, you're not. And we go and we swoop underneath her. And we are helping get her off the field. And when they snap that picture, I mean, our heads are kind of down. And we are just sweating profusely, but we had left it all out on the field. But Tracy, she never missed a dang beat,
Wow.
Injured or not. And taking her off the field, I mean, it's one of those heart things too, is that one of your fellow comrades, right, is injured. And we're all thinking in our mind, how did we do with our performance? How did we do individually? How did we do collectively? But one of our own is hurt now. And that truly was the agony of defeat in my heart, was that Tracy was injured. And I mean, and she was amazing through the whole thing. Yeah, she would have limped herself off that field if we would have let her.
And she had injured her knee, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
And so let me tell you a little bit about my side of that.
Yeah.
The photo came out in the Hutchinson newspaper. Yeah. And when I first joined the Corps in 1981, I went to the bingo hall to be fitted for a uniform. And one of the most, you can't miss it. That photo and that news article is framed in the bingo hall. And, I saw that and I thought to myself, like, whoa, it's an astonishing photograph. And it's a very intense photograph. And I thought to myself, this is another level that I didn't anticipate. I knew musically it would be more demanding, but people are getting injured, and here's people just in strife.
Yeah.
What have I gotten myself into?
Absolutely.
And to this day, I will go back just to look at that, because it was one of my very first memories of being in Hutchinson. Yeah. And again, it was an astonishing photo, and it was Birmingham, 1980.
Yep.
And it's something that still lives with me. So in case you didn't know, it's kind of funny how something that you really didn't have any idea what was going on is now immortalized. And for me, it's going to live with me until my last breath, because again, it was one of the very first images of the Skywriters I ever have. So for you to have been a part of that, just wow.
Well, and not to sound too corny, but like I can still feel her arms on my shoulder, her arm right here.
Yeah.
And Eric being on the other side. And just when one of you is injured, you just pull, you just pull together. But I literally can think back to 1980 and I can still feel her hand on my shoulder and helping her off. And thank goodness she was okay and was able to get better fairly quickly. But that's just what you do, right? You're a family and you treat one another just like you treat yourself. So it was a very, like you said, very poignant moment. But whoever the photographer was, I don't even know who the photographer was.
Mhm.
Man, did they catch that moment
Yeah, they
perfectly.
did. It was
Yeah.
perfect. It's my personal most iconic Skyrriders photo of all time. It's not a particularly happy or pleasant, but it really symbolized the strength of family, the bond, the
Absolutely.
perseverance that you leave it out all on the field. For me, it's a perfect photo. It really is. I'll include it in the comments because it's something that's still just um scorched in my brain.
Yeah,
And you were a part of it. That's amazing. Thanks, Mary.
you're welcome.